a casino, you would get shut down. And now your banks, your funds are frozen, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So that doesn't allow you to grow as an organization, which is not good for any organization. I know people here right now in the United States who have been part of a lot of different organizations who chase Bank of America, Wells Fargo, and the list goes on and on and on and on and on and on, who shut down their bank accounts simply because they were affiliated with even just crypto. And that's not right. And so what we are doing is we're making things easier for the unbanked. Then on top of it, we reduce the cost and increase the speed. So if you have TRC20, I see a gentleman by the name of James Lawden here. I want to send James, I don't know, $10 in USDT. And I wanted to use, let's say today I wanted to use, I don't know, Trust Wallet. On Trust Wallet with USDT TRC20, it might cost me $3 today to send him that money. In our system, it'll only cost me maybe a penny because we've created a system inside of our ecosystem that's allowed us to make sure that when people are involved inside our ecosystem, we're able to reduce costs and make sure we're the cheapest amongst everything else that's out there. Now, the B2B game and the B2C. So right now, we know this. We know that one, iGaming and affiliate programs have a very hard time to distribute funds. And what I mean by affiliate programs, I'm also talking about multi-level marketing companies. I'm talking about those organizations that are out there that need to distribute funds to their, let's say, to a social media person. And you can't just send funds to them if it's in, I don't know, Tanzania. You can't. You have to use something different. And so what we're doing is we create the technology so that way other organizations can use us and make it easier for them and the user. Right now, we also have our marketplace system. So what I mean by marketplace system is our payment gateway. This is something that we haven't talked about even in the existence of our organization. We've been together now for a year and a half, and the reality is our payment gateway system has been available for over a year, but we have not marketed it because I wanted to make sure it was perfect. And now we're at that level. In the next several months, we will be releasing this out to people, and anyone can use our payment gateway free of charge. When I free, it's just a small amount of code. You plug it into your website, and it's done. Now, what does that benefit the people in our system? Because every single time that someone uses our system, our payment gateway, our people get a percentage of everything. Now, why now? The reason is the why now. Previously, we were on Tron. And I realized after us being on Tron for about a year and a half, close to a year and a half, there were some things that I realized. One, the the community behind Tron is actually is not strong. It's Solana. Solana is hands down one of the strongest communities that there is in the world as far as the cryptocurrency space. It's Solana and Ethereum. Ethereum previously was mainly built for a variety of different tech. Solana is flooded with meme tokens. So what I decided was, as an organization, we decided to change from Tron to Solana and bring the community of Solana holders something different that they need. And it was something that could truly be used within the market. And that was this. That was us making sure that we can have something out in the masses. Now, I can't sit here and make up a bunch of stuff and change the narrative of what's going on in the market because the market is the market. It's what's going on right now. So right now, regulatories make it very difficult for any enterprise to grow. And what we're doing here is we're making sure that every enterprise that works can easily use us and implement cryptocurrency into their system. Now, what has Defect's solution been? As noted, we have been mainly a tech company for the last several years or a few years. And bringing on the USDT Global Wallet system as an addition to our system has been great. We've been able to make sure that we can create things that are lower fees. We are able to make sure that we can scale, and not only for us, but for the other organizations that surround us. So how does this work? So the larger organizations work through us. We help settle and process everything. And then the recipients, the users, receive things instantly. And what we've done over the last couple months is that we've also tested this with our users. A lot of things that we do before we bring it out to the masses is we test it with our users first to make sure it works completely fine. So now our system makes sure when you see how our affiliate system works on a later call, you'll see that when someone sells something in our system, there's no delay. You're paid instantly. You're usually paid within 5 to 10 seconds. In some cases, it's even half a second. And so that is something that I felt was very necessary in the field. Whether you're working for an Amway or whether you're working for a company based out of Uganda, it doesn't matter. Now, our nodes are built around the entire ecosystem. And so that way, every single time there's a transaction, that micro transaction that's done, our node holders get a piece of it. And as we grow, our node holders will receive and grow with our growth as well. So the reason behind moving to Solana wasn't just because of the community. Yes, community was a big part, but also I had to think about our token in ourselves and what was going to be cost effective for the organization and faster. So regular rail 10 to 60 seconds. Now we're in milliseconds. Transaction costs on TRC20, $5 to $50, depending on what type of the year it is. Now we're at fractions of a penny. So we needed to make sure also when it came to people using our tokens that releases in our system, that, that we are staying consistent and make sure that we stay cheap as well. So currently right now, our settlement later is we will be releasing our on some token exchanges in the future. Our node network, we have over 13,000 node distributors currently right now in our system. We have our desktop and our Android APK that's available. And in the future, our Android and iOS app will be released on our Digitalite application for everything else. Now, eventually, we will be adding liquidity into the exchanges that will be on, that I'll explain later. And of course, obviously, we have to talk about risk and compliance. We have to make sure that we follow all the guidelines and everything that we do, but we are structured in Colombia. So there's certain things that we can and cannot do, and so we follow those regulations. This is, again, our transactions, 43,000 active users inside of our wallet, 13,000 node holders. Our settlement monthly, I don't have an exact number on that currently right now, but this to show where we're at currently in today's market. So the iGaming operators that we are onboarding. If you've been a part of us for a while, you've seen that we've been featured in about 3 or 4 magazines, with other magazines coming up pretty soon. We have a payment processor that's live, that's working in Serbia. And then our casino affiliate that I'll be going out to Macau in the next few months to sign the MOU with that. And Latin America, we're working on a payroll pilot where we're testing to make sure that some small organizations are able to use the system to be able to pay out to their individuals in real time in their local currency. Next week, I will be in Thailand. Actually, it's not next week, in a few days, sorry. This is our 4th consecutive year that DFIX will be present at the Thailand conference for SPICE. If you want to know what Spice is, Google Spice Thailand, and you'll see more information about that. But it's our fourth year at this convention in Thailand. It's their largest convention that they do per year, and we are present at about 6 conventions every year for this organization. This is the second year that G Wallet is showcased, but this is the first year that I will be actually presenting what we have to these new operators that are there at this year's conference this week. Now we signed our first organization in the first quarter of this year with an organization in the Philippines. They did not release yet, and then we had another organization that was based out of the U.S. But they're waiting for their operations in Africa. We still have Serbia and Macau that is waiting to settle for their affiliate payouts that's going on pretty soon as well. This is the panel for this Thursday. It's myself, a gentleman by the name of Amrit that I've known for quite a long time. He's our moderator for this year's panel discussion. And mainly it's talking about fraud operations, KYCs, anti-money laundering, and a variety of everything. The biggest thing is just making sure that one, we are able to communicate on this, what we call a fire chat, and we just communicate this stuff in a live audience. The second one, we now have an AI organization. Harmon is a great colleague of mine. We've been working with each other for about 4 years, and we'll be presenting strategic enablers on how AI works in different types of organizations. Now, where are we at? 2022, DFIX solution was founded, and we positioned ourselves in Colombia. In 2025, January 2025, we released G Wallet. Then everything else followed through, up to having 13,000 live node holders. And this September, we will be releasing or announcing which exchanges will be on for our actual token, which is DTX. For our node holders, we will start to have a 35 billion GTX token emission begins. So from second quarter 2027, roughly, that's when our node holders will start to be minting tokens as well. Now, how our node network works. It's our node holders, it basically verifies that you have ownership and you get rewards based off our ecosystem. Now, as our ecosystem grows, every single transaction goes to every single node holders, and sometimes it's a very small fraction that's earned. And when I mean a very small fraction, it's like 0.00001 cents sometimes. And so right now, I think we have about 5 or 6 different smart contracts running where our rewards are distributed in next month, August. Sorry, my mind's already in August. We'll be releasing the next smart contract, which will be settled out probably the second or third week of August. Now, all of our earnings goes to our node holders. 100% of all transactions goes into the network. So it doesn't matter if it's $1 that's earned for the organization or $100 million that's earned for the organization. All those funds, excuse me, are distributed to our network of node holders. Again, we're at 13,000 node holders. Some node holders have more than 500 nodes. Some only have one. But the nodes are the distribution is distributed to all 13,000 node holders with about 20-something thousand or 25,000, somewhere between there, actual nodes that's actually been distributed in our system. So as DFIX grows, our node holders increase in volume. And what I mean by in volume, that means their payout, their rewards that are distributed on a daily basis grows. Our GTX GTX tokens are minted as well from our node holders. But because of what we've done about 2 weeks ago, we started to allow GTX token to be sold. Now, how to become a node holder? Being a node holder is very easy. You go to your affiliate and you purchase your node. There's 5 different nodes, but we're not going to discuss that today. Our purpose today is to talk about what we're doing right now as an organization and where we're going at in the future. We will distribute that information in probably in the next few days, where we'll do a live call where people can talk about what the organization does as far as like our nodes, how much the nodes cost, and et cetera, et cetera. But today it's focused on the tech. Because of the GTX token, it's a new incentive that layers on the USDT global wallet system with our, again, 13,000 independent node operators, and that our GTX utility token is restructured around our ecosystem. We are releasing our P2P transaction system. If you're part of, I think what's the name of the company? Knowens, or if you've been part of Paxful or local Bitcoin in the past, you'll have a complete knowledge of what we're doing in the future. Just so you know, DFix was previously owned by a company called TRA, which is the company that I originally owned. And TRA was the largest P2P company on Paxful and local Bitcoin from 2017 or 18 until 2022, before we started building DFix. This is our supply, our GTX token supply. 35% is going to our minting, not mining. Sorry, bad typo. And that is going to start in the second, probably around the second of next year. Our pre-sale, which we're in right now, where people can buy currently right now at 0.0003 cents. And then we go into our exchange IDO, which is to be released in September, or the announcement will be done in September, on which the token will be sold. Our airdrop, what that means is all of our node holders currently right now will get an airdrop of tokens, and they can sell those tokens on exchanges when they're available, and et cetera, et cetera. 10% goes to the team, and the rest are in reserves. Now, we have 10 rounds. I put only 3 of them just so you can see the difference in the prices, but you can see the first round is at 0.0003 cents, as a 17-week cliff and a 5% TGE. By the 5th round, we'll be at 0.00045. By the last round, we're at 0.00075. So the earlier you buy, and these are projected numbers, but the earlier you buy, the lower the cost. Okay. There we go. Now, in the future, after we go through our rounds and after we go through our exchanges, the goal is to be at 0.005. Now, this is all speculative. I can't decide on what the market's going to choose or anything of that matter. Things can just happen. But our goal, excuse me, is to push the token as high as we can get. But it also means that we have to bring in liquidity amongst all of our partnerships with the exchanges. So here we go. Why do you buy GTX? What's the purpose of GTX? GTX does a variety of different things. Obviously, early adopters participate at ground level as the ecosystem builds. So you're able to buy at a cheaper rate, so that way you can utilize our ecosystem for a much cheaper rate. Now, what does it mean by cheaper rate? So when you are using our system, the entire ecosystem that's built for all of us, as long as you're holding a certain amount of GTX, depending on what GTX, what system that you're building, those fees are going to be much cheaper than it is with any other token that's in our ecosystem. Whether it's the P2P system, whether it's the payment gateway system, whether it's the marketplace system, whether it's the wallet. It doesn't matter what it is, whatever technology that we build, as long as you have the GTX token, it'll always be cheaper than having any other token that's out there. Who are node holders, and the goal is to have, I think the max is about 250,000 total nodes, but again, it's 5 different nodes, so you got to understand which nodes you have. We're currently mainly running in Southeast Asia and Latin America and Africa. That is the major part that we have focused on. Currently, I would say about 90% of all the token holders right now are Latino, and the other 8% is from Africa, and there's a sprinkle out throughout the rest of the world. The next goal is for us to close more iGaming partnerships, which is the intent of us going to the next. I think we have 4 conferences that we're going to be at before the end of the year, from Amsterdam to Thailand. I think we have one in the Philippines, and then one in Austria. Okay. Again, 0.0003 is the current price point to buy your tokens. The last round will be roughly around 0.00075. Again, this is all speculation, but these are the prices per round. Okay. We will announce what exchanges will be helping us in the next seed, and that will be announced in September of what exchanges we'll be working with. This might come a little bit premature because some of the exchanges will make an announcements, probably maybe as early as the end of August, but we are trying to make sure that the announcement on all the exchanges that the exchanges will make, once the exchanges make the announcements, that's when we will make the announcements. And I'm trying to push that towards the end of September. So this is it right here. We're in a pre-sale. Get who brought you onto this call. Secure your GTX tokens. Make sure that understand what's going on. If you need to buy some nodes, buy some nodes. Understand the project. But next month, or I'm sorry, not next month, in the next few days, sorry, we will be announcing a actual call that explains exactly in detail of what the business is doing. This call was basically to explain to people where we are at currently right now and where we are going in the very near future. I felt like it was very important since we haven't done much of no marketing in the last probably month. And even though we just released the pre-sale of the token. So uh, I'm going to, let's see, what time is it? I guess, yeah, it gives me time to answer a few messages because it's only 30 minutes in. So if you have any questions, please raise your hand. I think Carlos is on the call. Carlos can mute you so you can ask any questions and I can answer. Okay, I see no questions. All right, I will give about 30 more seconds. If not, I'll close everything up, and then the announcement will be announced for next week's call, where we're going to go in much better detail. Again, I felt like it was very important for me to explain everything to everyone, to let them know where we were going and what's been happening in the last few weeks. Okay. So I thank everyone for being on the call. I appreciate it. And I'll see you on the upside. I will be in Thailand when we do the next call. And I have some great new information that I'll be introducing during that time frame. So thank you all for being on the call. Thank you.